Why do the Hindus living in Pakistan not convert out of their dharma when it is very easy for them to just recite kalma and live a simple and happy life? What would you call people who struggled for 500 years for apparently a piece of land? What would you call people who were ready to face every torture and hardship but do not forget that land? Now stop clamoring for it.
एक 462 साल पहले एक लुटेरे ने आकर अगर हमारे मंदिर को ध्वस्त किया है तो ये हमारे माथे पर कलंक है। अगर ये बाबरी मस्जिद रहेगी तो हिंदुओं पर ये कलंक हमें अपनी गुलामी याद दिलाता रहेगा। अरे हम इसे को उठाकर रहेंगे, ये गुलामी का चिन्ह है, इसे हम खत्म करेंगे, चाहे खून से करें चाहे गोलियों से करें।
सबसे पहले हिंदू, उसके पीछे जात।
अरे बाबर कौन था? घुसपैठिया था। अकबर कौन था? घुसपैठिया था। तो हमें बाबर को नहीं मानना, हमें राम को मानना है, जो कितने सालों से हमारे देश के अंदर राम राज्य था, दशरथ के बेटे थे। हम राम जन्मभूमि को अपना मान्यता देते हैं।
What would you call such people who withstood barbaric Mughal slavery of foreigners and genocide of centuries, all in hope that they will get that piece of land once again? राम मंदिर बनने के बाद इन प्रश्नों के उत्तर और स्पष्ट हो चुके हैं। The Ram Janmabhoomi liberation movement is one of the rare struggles that people sustained for 5 centuries. In these 500 years, most were times of deep despair. The occupying force was so brutal, the occupation was so one-sided that any hope looked moronic and unimaginable. Not only the alien slavers, but the political dispensation and leading historians of the nascent state were also inimical to the Hindu faith that Bhagwan Shree Ram was born on this sacred land. In such adversity and against every nefarious trick in the communist book, how come the Hindus stubbornly plod on? It's a tale to tell for the whole humanity.
हमारे पास और कोई और चारा नहीं है, तो और क्या करेंगे? जीविका के लिए तो कुछ करना ही होगा, आखिर नहीं तो रहेंगे। हम लोग जो है साथी एकदम ठीक कहा है कि कलम चलाना छोड़ दिया है, बंदूक चलाना सीखेंगे। और हमारी प्रशासन जो है यही अब चाह रही है और यही करेंगे, यही हाथ से लिखेंगे भी और यही हाथ से खून भी बहाएंगे। जो होगा सो देखेंगे। हम लोग मरने के लिए तैयार हैं, अपनी शर्ट को फाड़ दिए हैं एकदम, चाहे जो होगा सो करेंगे हम लोग, लेकिन बाहर नहीं आवेंगे।
हम लोग कलम चलाना छोड़ दिए हैं, बंदूक चलाना।
आप लाठी चार्ज कीजिए, मार डालिए, हम नहीं जाएंगे, आप गोली चलाइए।
What was this insistence? What was this stubbornness of the Hindus? How did they manage to keep the ember smoldering in the threatening storms? Many years ago, Dr. Omrendra Ratno, with his elder brother, who was a major at that time, went to the army cantonment area. A middle-aged soldier saluted him sharply with a Ram Ram. It shocked him, but in a good way. The upper officers of the forces, their wives and children all conversed in English, but the ordinary soldier had kept the Ram Ram alive with a forceful insistence. Even if the Malechas managed to level the temple of Prabhu Shree Ram, they could not wipe him and his name out of our consciousness. What we lost as Ram Janmabhoomi and the temple, we imbued in our souls and spirits at the tattva of Prabhu Shree Ram. Ram became our cry, the refrain on the lips that then was repeated on every occasion a Hindu could find. From the holy songs and birth to the holy nuptials, to when we gave up to Agni the mortal remains of someone who was very dear to us. Our ancestors knew that no attack in the world can out Maryada Purushottam Shri Ramachandra from our heart. In such times when humanity is running blindly after the gross, the achievement of keeping the subtle alive is a no mean feat of the Hindus. What made Hindus leaderless power with nothing to lean on still keep going? Could be interesting research for social psychologists. The Islamic invaders downed thousands of temples and built masjids over them. But our rishis, our gurus did not let time fade the memories of Bhagwan Shiv's Kashi, Krishna Janmabhoomi of Bhagwan Shri Krishna at Mathura, and Ayodhya Shri Ram Janmabhoomi. They are not just land masses, they are the nerve centers of Dharma itself. The Hindu psyche did not give up on these, even under the most atrocious conditions. For the Ram Janmabhoomi, thousands of Hindus and Sikhs toiled on. Goswami Tulsidas Ji and other saints and poets kept Shri Ram's memory alive. No Hindu ever gave up on Shri Ram and his birthplace because they knew in their hearts that Prabhu Shri Ram and his name are what keeps the dharma of Hindus alive. Ram nahi, to dharma nahi. For this, we owe to those unnamed Hindus whose faith could never be trampled. For this, we owe to those unnamed Hindus who never let their children forget that beneath that illegal Babri masjid, a temple is still there indeed. For this, we owe to those unnamed Hindus who kept on writing about this incessantly lest we forget. For this, we owe to those unnamed Hindus who kept doing puja on the Janmabhoomi. For this, we owe to those unnamed Nihang Sikhs who swooped down on the illegal Islamic occupation in the middle of the 19th century and freed it for a while. For this, we owe to those unnamed Hindus who kept the Ram Janmabhoomi out of the clutches of the government during the partition of 1947. For this, we owe to those lakhs of Kar Sevaks who braved patterns and bullets of Mulayam Singh's police. For this, we owe to those unnamed Hindus who sent one brick and 1.25 rupee, Sawa Rupiah from every household for it. It was the collective consciousness stirring into them finally liberated the Ram Janmabhoomi and which would manifest now as the Rama Mandir. The day doors of this mandir are thrown open, so the world would witness is not just a structure of stone. They will see a monument to the indomitable spirit of humanity in the face of the worst religious persecution. Ram Janmabhoomi will be the epicenter of Hindu Shraddha, hope and valor. The destruction of our holy shrines by the Muslims had led to Hindus having journeyed from denial to rage, and this has made Hindus more flexible, powerful and resilient against atrocities. It's time to recognize our own resolve and orient our faith towards the dharma that is in our blood and bones, a light that makes us stand up again every time we fall. The speciality of Ram Janmabhoomi is that aside from being the birthplace of Bhagwan Sri Ram, is also the most sacred place of Hindu memory and consciousness that never died and that showed that it can never be erased. We have shown those who jeered at us as idolaters that we can die for that vacant spot of land. That vacant place has a special corner in every Hindu's heart. It's also a case of criminal genocide intended solely toward wiping out the culture and dharma of Hindus. But Hindus stood strong. Hindus managed to wrestle the Janmabhoomi out of the jaws of the most ruthless cutthroats and most sly communists. We made the impossible possible with the insistence, consciousness of the collective and with the blessings of Supreme Lord Maryada Purushottam Sri Ramachandra. I know today that the Tattva of Sri Ram is what transcends the time itself and comes alive again. The Tattva of Sri Ram is the eternal flow that sustains the Hindu society in the wildest hardships and will continue to do so. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Like the video, share this video as much as you can and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Hare Krishna.